Okie dokie, welcome back to another video folks, and it is Francesco here from Keep Productive. It is another review. We're going to be taking a look at a sales CRM tool called Pipedrive. I am looking more obviously in the sort of marketing tools area, a little bit more anyway, not, I say this is more of a productivity sales tool. So I'll give you a little bit of background on the tool. It's a sales CRM for tracking successful sales. They have obviously stated that 90,000 companies have used it, and they use it. You can use it really for anything, but I actually used it in the past for working with a company. We tracked book resellers and educational sales. So it was pretty cool. It was actually a really easy tool to be able to get started with. So today what we're going to do is we're going to sign up for the free 14 days and we're going to guide you around this experience, see what it's like, whether it's suitable for you. Okay, so we've gone through a little bit of onboarding there. It sort of guided you through your details and also what your sort of situation will be, how many people will be using it in a team, and now it's just loading up Pipedrive. Okay, so first out you see here that there's a little bit of like an intercom thing that sort of guides you around importing your data, syncing your email. But let's just take a look at the sort of structure of this. The goal of this application is really to get you from here, the lead, to potentially negotiations started, as well as the deal being won. So obviously you've got lots of different features here. You've got deals, so deals are obviously very valuable. Be able to track all that. You can view that as a list and a forecast. We'll add a few and sort of get that sort of lined up. You can also access mail here, so it's really simple to sort of access mail. All you'd have to do is you get a dedicated BCC. So whenever you send a specific sort of consultation about a specific sale, you can get that email BCC in here. Then in here, you get to see the activities. So this can be anything from logging offline activity or actual online activity or emails that were sent. So you can sort of see the stream, and you can even associate tasks as well. So it gives you a bit of like a sort of nudge to get started. And here you can also see the people in your organization and the contacts timeline. So if you are managing a group of sales individuals, you can access that there. And even if you want to, attach products that are related to, for example, deals, whether they purchased a specific thing, then that can be helpful. And you can even see a dashboard. Once you've added all the data, we actually use this quite well because we're able to see and I think the process for Pipeline's gone a lot better in the company that I was previously using than it was when we were starting out. But you can see here, you can add a goal, you can add and see which deals have been won, what products have been sold, what emails have been sent. So let's go ahead and start adding some deals. Okay, so when you're adding some deals, you obviously met with this sort of screen to get you started. You can actually get started with the sort of project details. So I could say Joe Blogs is the contact person, and you can see that it automatically pre-creates a contact detail for that person in the contacts area. But what's nice as well is it also sort of put in the deal title with that. Now you could also say, this could be for Apple, and you can actually go and create a new organization. So Joe Blogs who works at Apple, and you can have the deal title even just as Apple. So you can see here, obviously, maybe I'm looking to sell something to Apple in this case, and you can change the currencies to literally anything. So it's really suitable for any country. And you can say expected close date. So you could say at the end of January, I'm looking to be able to sort of update that. And in here, you can instantly start adding phone and email, even if they have a multitude of them. So if you want to share it or save it, you can actually have it to the entire company or just to you and your followers. So if I press save, it begins to add that. And what you can see is it's very similar to those applications like Trello and, for example, ZenKit and Monday.com, in being able to allow you to track sales in moving them across the different stages, which is pretty handy. And if I were to click in, this is, I guess, where the sort of dashboard comes in. I remember using this a lot of times, but it was quite handy because I remember using the mobile application at the same time, and that was actually really nice. So up here, you obviously can when it's there, you can go ahead and win and lose this. So you can go and naturally change the settings as well of that, and you can even duplicate it, merge it, or export it as an XLS. Now here you get this almost timeline view, so you can be able to add the lead, whether you got a contact, and when we added the contact, obviously it knew that we got a contact, so it moved us to that stage. Obviously didn't move us to the meeting arrange stage because we don't actually have a fixed meeting yet, but it has this end goal, the expected close date of 31st of January. And what you can do here is, this is really quite useful, so you can start taking notes on a specific deal. So for example, I met this client at the fair for in Excel London, UK, and you can naturally save that, and that will go in this sort of feed, so you can even string it down to just what notes you've seen, what emails you've had, and that's obviously done stuff. So you have done and you have planned. So what's cool is once you click in here, you can log a specific activity that went on. So for example, you can log a specific meeting or an email or a lunch that you had. So I'm going to say here that we actually had lunch back last Friday, and you can actually add specifically what time you had lunch, which was cool. And you can naturally add guests. For example, if there were people that were in the email thread, or even people in your team that were there, so you can obviously give them credit for the sale if that comes to it. You can even take a few notes here as well. And if it was more than one contact at that company, you can add them more down here, which is pretty cool. So if you needed 2 ways to get into the deal, say one collapsed or one wasn't able to reach out, you can sort of make sure that you've kept a log of that. So let's put Tim Cook, or for example, and as you can see here, you can even have markers done, because obviously that meeting was done, so you can go ahead and save that. Now what's cool is you can connect your calendar to here, so if you wanted to pre-select something that was already in your calendar, you can do that, which actually helps. So if I go ahead and press save, you can see there that what it does automatically. I remember this always coming up whenever I would call a bookseller and get a sort of update on where they were at, whether they were able to purchase any books. You can see here that it opens up automatically a schedule for activity, so it's always working out how, and almost forcing you to get that next call sort of plan. So for example, let's go ahead and say let's call them next Monday. It's awfully close to Christmas, but maybe let's get that first sort of catch-up call to sort of see where we lead forward, and let's leave it for 45 minutes. So you can add to your calendar that you're busy, which is nice. You can add a location, a description, and notes like you did before. But let's go ahead and press save. So what's nice is it doesn't give you a second prompt, because naturally there's no need for a second prompt. You've been able to sort of schedule a new call, and you can click into it and be able to change any and modify anything there. But what's nice is it lands inside of this area called planned. So you've got planned and you've got done. So if I go over to the activities section, you can see here that I've got a catch-up call, and that's coming up. So this, across all of the different activities, you can literally start filtering it down. So for example, if you're like, okay, I'm on my phone, you press call, so you can remove these and be like, okay, these are the calls I've got coming up, or these are the meetings I've got coming up, etc. And you could even do that with what's this week. I've got nothing this week to do, even if it was all of them, nothing this week. And next week, oh, there we go, I've got the call, and I can click in, and it can even modify the title of it. I can add the phone number, and I think what I remember at least is if you add the phone number on the app, you can quickly press this thing where you it automatically starts calling that person and logs the length of the call, and that's from my memory. But I think that's pretty cool. You can see the calendar view as well of exactly when you'll be doing it. So if I flip to next week, you can see there I've got the call, and you can even tick it off as done, make it longer. And this is a good way to potentially plan your week ahead. And you can naturally, once you connect with your calendar, this is when it becomes helpful, because it will then works 2 ways, I believe. So you can see your Pipedrive sort of coming up calls in your Google Calendar, and you can see your Google Calendar events this side. So you can even switch between the different owners. So for example, if I invited Alice to be able to see the deals that we're getting or assign her stuff, I can then see all her sort of calendar engagement in terms of deals. So there we go. You can actually see our deal there and actually go into it. And naturally, you can have organization set up. So for example, if I press this, you can see that this is Apple, and you can access this if you want to by going to the organization section here. So you can see Apple's the only one, and naturally it goes into here. But this, if you had multiple deals with one company, you can see the people that are involved, the deals that are active, and the top activities, which is called, so who's most active, and that seems to be me. And also any email BCC that's relevant. But what's cool is you can literally start plotting in anything you like, which is cool. So if I were to go and add another deal, say I made a proposal with Microsoft, see this nice cheeky battle between these two, I can go ahead and add them as a new contact. I was a bit of a silly Billy because obviously Microsoft isn't a person. So I could say, Jeff, no, not Jeff Bezos. That would be ironic. Let's just say Jeff Bezos. It's a Z, not a... There we go. So Jeff Bezos is the chap at Microsoft, apparently. So if I say Microsoft, and I add that as a new company, there we go. So the deal, let's say, is a little bit more than Apple's, and expected close date is a little bit further away, and I go ahead and press save. So naturally, you get the idea, you get the concept, you can start weaving in activity here. So what's cool is you can obviously schedule calls. You can even utilize something called the caller. And essentially what this does is it allows you to start phone calls from your web. So for example, if you're like someone who doesn't like to get out the office and you want to make a call direct from the computer, maybe you're in a very tight space, and you don't necessarily want to go outside and have that sort of unprofessional background noise per se. And you can even transfer the call to your phone if you want to. So if you did want to be moving around, you can get 5 hours of free calling per user each month. And all you need to do is upgrade to the professional to actually get that. But basically, it will start linking the calls to the deals automatically, so that you can see the activity, or record the calls. So it takes notes on, and you can take notes on every to catch every detail. So that's quite handy if you wanted to be able to sort of constantly report. I know some people connected with Zoom, but this is built and baked in, and it seems to be good quality with slow internet. So you could actually just skip by that if you want to. So you can also use the unlock your, so in the advanced plan, there's unlock your sales inbox. So for example, you can sync Pipedrive emails with any major email provider, so that can connect up with the sales side of stuff. And I'll include some screenshots of what those both look like. And you can even add files as well as get invoices started. And you can actually activate that or enable that on the Pipedrive marketplace, which is a place where you can actually find out more details and connect up other automation applications. So let's go over to the dashboard area. As you can see here, you can start to see the deals that have been started, and it just needed a refresh there. You got 90,000 worth of deals. You can see the activities that have been added, the ones that have been completed, the deals progressed by count. You can see the lost deals, the won deals, and all sorts of data, even the emails that have been sent. In this case, we actually haven't yet. But what's cool is if I were to go back to deals and I want to see the forecast, you can see there, if I obviously stay on track, I am looking to earn this much, 40,000 next month and 50,000 next month. And it can even change the pipeline views. So if I have multiple pipelines, I can skip ahead and I can even move per month, which is very cool. Okay, so looking at the settings side, obviously I will dive into the pricing side of stuff. We currently have one user on here. We're on the trial package, which I believe is the professional package. And you can even get free account credit. And there's obviously some bonuses of doing that as well. You can add the billing detail here. But there's this feature that is called Lead Boost. So Lead Booster allows basically you to really take advantage of sales by plugging this into your website. So for example, if you have like a website that sells marine equipment, for example, you could plug this in and be able to start actually turning website visitors into the leads by actually just customizing this so that you can schedule calls if it's needed, introduce products to them, and even start planning and plotting out your meetings, which is cool. So that's actually something that will be included. But again, it comes at I think if you go off your trial, it's $39 per month. But I'll come to the pricing side of stuff in a minute. You also have, as I said, the automations sort of library. So you have a few automations, one that automatically follows up on new deals, and it can save you 30 minutes apparently if you did every 50 manual tasks. You can even get a template as well every time a deal is moved to a new stage, create an activity. And you've also got discussing next steps, sharing victories. But the concept is to try and reduce as much stress as possible. These are some of the getting started ones, but there are a few more. So you've got every time a deal is added and create an activity and send an email. So these are all ways to sort of fine tune your step-by-step process. And you can even get Slack related ones. So every time a new deal is moved, a private message is sent. And every time a deal is moved to the next stage, a Slack message is posted to the channel. So you've also got tools and apps. I mentioned the marketplace. You can integrate, for example, the calling beta feature. You can add the sales inbox as well, contact sync as well, a calendar sync, which we mentioned. So you can see your Google, Outlook, Exchange, Office 365 calendar. You can import data. You can connect it with Slack, Asana, and lots more. And this is where the marketplace application is. You need to go to the marketplace. And once you open up this, you can literally search for any application. So if you want to connect it up with, say, Xero, which is an accounting software, then that's something that you can process with specific invoices, like you want to start getting the ball rolling with invoices. So all you have to do to get that is actually install the application, which is pretty cool. So again, it seems to be really fluid in terms of what feature set it has available to it. Now, as you can imagine, there are some settings here. You can actually go in personal preferences and change all the important company details so that, for example, when fields are going out, you're making sure you're adding the right thing. And there's also a referral program as well, which will give you cool swag if you manage to hit and introduce to other people. Now, there are some security settings. There's SSO, rules, alerts, and dashboard. So let's just take a look at the pricing. So as you can imagine, we're on the trial pricing. You get 14 days free and you're on this professional plan. If you wanted to start with Essential, it's £15 per seat per month. And that's billed monthly. So if you go to the annual plan, it's saving you money, 15% per year, which is good. All the essentials you need to take control of your sales. You've got a pipeline and stages, custom fields, activities, BCC inbox, and customized dashboard. But we had all the features, which was £59 per user per month. And you can see here that it's designed to, for example, email distribution lists, everything inside of here, one-click calls, call tracking, unlimited meeting scheduling, multiple dashboards, revenue forecasting, team management tools, and contact. There is an enterprise plan as well, which is quite good if you're looking to be a little bit more, security focused, customized focused. But if you want to be able to add a lead booster to any of these plans, it's going to cost you an extra $39 a month. But if you already have something like Intercom, you probably might want to look at it because it's a bit more sales orientated. But again, I know Intercom's fairly free and $39 could be a little bit more expensive. It depends on whether you're booking meetings. Let's say if you're someone that's like, a consultancy work, this might be more suitable for you. And if you're looking to bring everything into one place, then that could be quite cool for you. So the final thing I'm going to do is show you the mail feature because I think that's pretty important. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the specific BCC. So if you want a universal address or the deal specific address comes up at the bottom of the page, you can copy that. Let's send an email in the BCC and let's hope. Okie dokie, so I've sent that inside of the BCC, so it should be arriving any minute. Now, as you can imagine, you can find it in many different locations. The first is activities. So for example, if you changed it back to this list view and you wanted to see, for example, anything that was today with activities. Okay, so let's start with the mail side of stuff. You can see here that it's brought that mail in, and that mail is very simply, "Hi Tim, would you like to meet on Apple campus?" And you can see you can do a few things to it. You can print. I don't think you can reply to it. You can't forward it either, but you can print it and delete it. But the cool thing is it's linked to this deal automatically based on that. So if I were to go to this deal, this Apple deal, you'd be able to see, if I wasn't on the specific Apple page, let's go to the, oh no, it should be here. There we go, it's here. You can go to emails and find it right here. And you could even open it up, view full conversation, and be able to see that there. So any emails are associated and attached, and you can view them up in Mail. So that's very good. That's something that obviously is a benefit if you're looking to sort of bring in more collaborations. The other thing I wanted to show you is to propose times. So for example, you could pick times on your calendar. In this case, it could be picking a few times for some a meeting and be able to continue and actually go ahead and send them directly to your client using the template. And that's very cool because that might save you some time and effort, and putting it their way, you can actually just share the link so that they can go and interact with it, or even embed it on your website, or something that, for example, you're sending across, which might be handy. So that's a few times that might work for you. But as you can see, this is really much a sales tool that allows you to sort of coordinate your deals, activities, and let's go ahead and celebrate because we're going to win these deals. As you can see, the cool Christmas tree, because it's Christmas at the moment, comes up here, and you can see the deals collectively and how you've managed to win them. So guys, this was Pipedrive. I highly recommend checking out Paul Miner's stuff. He does some great stuff. The pricing, again, I'd say it's a little bit more steeper, but again, this is a sales tool, so it's not going to be like your average Trello and things like that. It's available on web, iOS and Android. There are some alternatives. I wanted to let you know about them, of course. There is Freshsales, Udemy, which I found, HubSpot Sales. But from my own use, I find this one to be the most like fine-tuned. I think HubSpot Sales as well links in with the HubSpot ecosystem. And this one is a really well-designed sales app. And naturally it differs from the likes of Monday.com or Notion or Asana because it's a specialist application and it really hooks in the sort of mails side of stuff, the activities and the contacts. And especially if you're selling products, I guess that's pretty handy too. The automation side is pretty cool too. But again, check it out in the link in the description. I hope this was a nice overview of how Pipedrive works. Please do let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. If you're not subscribed, do subscribe because we do regular features and I'm sure you enjoy all of the productivity software that we talk about. Anyway guys, big thank you. I'll talk to you guys very, very soon. Cheers everyone. Bye.